Welcome back. So in this session we'll be discussing about part 2, that is on modification toolbars. So over here we are going to discuss about modification toolbars, then we see about layer manager, then we'll be discussing about blocks, and then we'll be discussing about group and utility tools. So let's go to the topic one by one. So entering into a part. So over here the modification toolbars are available in AutoCAD. So once you see here, that is move options are there: copy, stretch, rotate, mirror, scale, trim, fillet and chamfers are there. So here is the fillet as well as the chamfers are available, so we can go for it. And then we need to know about arrays. What are the types of arrays are there? So that's what we are going to discuss in this video. So to start with this, very simple, I just take a simple objects or rectangle box, and then also take some circles, okay, and certain lines. Similarly, I make some sketch, and then I make some lines, okay. So these are the objects I have taken. So let's see one by one. So if you go for move option, so select the objects, immediately you see on the command box, so select object. So how to see the select objects? So select that particular object. Now this is a single object, so this is a single object, so it has been selected. Press enter, and immediately you can see specify a base point or displacement point. So how much you want a displacement, so you want to give some values on the screen, or you can simply click in the center point and you can drag and move it. So first option, simple to do, click on it, you can drag it and move at what position you need it. So if you see there is a values are coming 734.84, so that is a displacement value in X direction. So if you're moving in Y direction, click on ortho and you can also move in Y directions like this. So it moves in X or Y. Since ortho is on, so you can't go in diagonal options. So click on off, then you can move in any diagonals or any point, you can move your objects. So make sure the ortho is on or off, so it depends on it. So if you're putting on ortho on, so it moves in only X or in Y directions. So I need an object here. So object is completely moved from the old position to new positions, right? So this is what your move option works. The next point is called copy. As similar, commonly we do copy. So you can see select object again. So select the object and select the object as one is found. So press enter. So once you press enter, here also it shows specify the base point or displacement mode. So I'm going to take this base point as center point. So once you click the center point, the base point is selected. Now again displacement, X direction or Y direction. Here also condition depends on the ortho. So how many objects you want to paste? So one time I have pasted, second time I have pasted, third time I have pasted. So this is called copy and paste. So we are pasting at multiple objects here. So you want to paste it in Y direction, you can also do it in Y directions. So you can move in Y directions. These are the copy commands. So once you press enter, the command exit. Next you have a stretch option. So what is stretch? So let's see about it. So click on stretch option and select the object to stretch. So this is my object I have selected. So one object has been selected now to stretch. So once you press enter, now you can see select object base point. So which object you want to select the base point? So you want to select the center point, or you want to select the corner point. So I select now this corner. Now I'm going to stretch it. So now this is a single object, it is able to stretch like this. Now see the difference here. I take a line, I just make a sketch similar to that. Now I'm just going to use a stretch object, select the object. Now I select this one line and press enter. Now you can stretch this object. Now you can see stretch object is there. So it is moving from that particular point. Now alternatively, we can also do corners. So if you select this corner and you can stretch, hold the control button, hold the control button. So now you can see this object is also selecting. So if you are selecting both two objects and hold control button, so now you can see the object is stretching in such a manner. So this is how it works. So you need to use control button with specific point. Over here also you can try with control point. So now you can share control and you can see this object. So this is the difference between your normal lines and polylines. So which corner you want to select, you can select this, hold the control button, and then you can move. So right, so I'm repeating again, you want to type, hold control button. Okay, so you need to use a control key and then select the corner to stretch it. Okay, next point which you want to understand is all about your rotate. So rotate object is similar. So let's do some rotate objects. Okay, so this is the object I have taken. Now I want to rotate this. So you can go for rotate command, click on the rotate object. Now select the object. So whatever the objects your tools you are using, first of all you need to select that particular object. So I'm just going to select this for my rotation. So once selected, press enter. Now specify the base point to rotate. So we are going to rotate it, which point you are going to select. So for example, I'm selecting the center point. Now you want to rotate which direction. Now ortho is on, so it is very clear to understand. It will move either this way or alternative ways. But if you put ortho off, and you see it can be rotated in which angle you want to give. So you can give a specific angle also. So whatever the angle you want to give, 25, you can give angle also. So with respect to the angle, the object will be rotated. So this is the option how to use a rotate. Same way you want to do some mirror objects. So you have some mirror objects. So I want to do the mirror of this. So let's show you here. So mirror objects is like, let me put ortho on a similar kind of image. Okay, so now I want to mirror this. Similarly, I want to make a sketch here with same dimensions. Whatever I have done with the same dimension, I want to do the mirror of it. So mirror option works similar way. Select on mirror. So select the object which you want to mirror. So select this and press enter. Now specify the first point of mirror line. So where you want the mirror line. So I want to make a mirror line here, just away, small distance away from this point. So I have selected the second mirror point. So where you want to give the mirror point, over here. So now either you want to retain this original image or you don't want to retain it. So the option is asking erase the source object or not. So you want to delete this object or not. So no. So I go with no. So this is how your mirror object will be worked. So what happens if you are selecting without any distance? If you're selecting a mirror and you're selecting the same corner and you're putting a center point over here, so this way you select this as a point without any gap. So it depends on you how much gap is required between a mirror object or not required. So this is how the mirror commands will be helpful for us. Now what about scale? So scale is similar to enlarge or to decrease it. So I want to reduce this particular object. So I have selected this object, press enter. Now select the base point again. So you want to select some base point. Now what is the scale factor? Either you want to enlarge the scale or you want to reduce the scale. So if you are going to see, if I give the 39.7, it is showing some values, right? So that's showing the enlargements of the scale. So roughly if I give my scale value is 1.25, see what effect is going to be happen on the screen. So I'm just giving my scale factor as 1.25. Now it has been increased from the previous image to 1.25 is increased. So the scale has been increased. So if I do undo it, then I go for a lower scale, select the object, enter. Now I'm just going to give 0.25. Now you see the scale, sorry, I didn't select the base point. So select it, select the scale, select the base point. Now scale factor. So just type the scale factor as 0.25, enter. Now see the scale has been reduced to 0.25. So from the original image the scale has been reduced to 0.25. So this is how the scale toolbars will be helpful for us, right? Next point which you want to know about trim. So trims are a point how to extend or trim options are available here. So example, so these are some lines which is coming in your drawing. So you want to trim this particular lines. So I go for trim, select the line which you want to trim. So only this portion I want to erase it, erase. So this here trim option will be erased. Now you can see these lines are trimmed. But trim command will not work for a single line object. Suppose two lines are like this. One line is here and one more line is here. Now one more line I'm adding here. Now I'm going to use a trim. The trim command will work here, but certain case when your lines are like, I'm going to have a line like this. Okay, now I'm going and trying a trim here. Okay, so you can see the difference, right? Now it is already trimmed now, right? So all these are being trimmed. Certain case object is a single line, this will not trim. So that's face a problem when you have a single objects. So this is how the trims is useful now. Okay, so let's see about fillet. Fillet and chamfers are there. What is fillet and chamfer? Fillet is a curve, smooth curve. So when you have a smooth curves, then you can go for fillet. And you have a chamfer is a slanting corners. So you have a slanting corners, that is called chamfers. So to understand the fillet and chamfer, so first of all I need two lines. So let's go for two line. So I'll take a fresh line. So I'm just going to make a line of just 15. Okay, so 15 meter line, and another line I'm going to take just slight little bit down, or you can select any point at your screen. This is also 15 meter. So I just selected line 1 and line 2 is on my screen. I want to make a smooth curve over here. So I just want to make a smooth curve in between these two lines. So just go for fillet, select the first corner and select the second corner, and you put radius. So you want to put a radius. So what is the radius you want? You can put a radius, sorry, just a minute. So take a fillet, take a first point, then select the second corner. So now this curve is not visible due to short length of the lines. So let me redraw the line to show you very clear picture. So I'm going to take it somewhere over here. So you can give a radius. Now see, once you give radius R, enter. So fillet radius is required, so you can give some radius. Say suppose I'm going to give 6. Now select the first object and select the second line. So now you can see the curve is available clearly for line 1 and line 2. So this how with the radius the fillet will be working. So I will repeat again. Go to the fillet, go to the radius, you can click on radius. So whatever the radius you have given, you can give it, or you want to give a specified 6. I'm just in meters, I'm just giving 6 meter. Select the first object and select the second object. Now you can see the radius available. Same way you can also do for chamfer. So chamfer also you can go with distance. So right, so for this is easiest to go with distance. So what distance you need to do the chamfer? So same 6 meter I'm going to take a chamfer. So select the second chamfer. So second chamfer I need second line at 3 meters. Now select the object. So first corner and second corner. Now here you can see very clearly it's 6 meter and 3 meter the chamfer has been done. So this is how the chamfer options are useful. So you need to specify some distance, at what distance you need to do the chamfering of line 1 and line 2. The next option which you want to know is all about your arrays. So arrays are 3 types of arrays are there. One is called rectangular or straight arrays, and then we have path arrays, and we have polar arrays. So to understand a rectangular array, so let me take a small object. So let's go with rectangle. Okay, so this is a rectangle. So I want to make an array of this. So let's see array option, first one, that is a rectangular or straight array. Select the object. So once you select the object and press enter, the array window get opens. So this is to understand like number of rows and number of column and spacing between the rows and space between the columns. So you can easily see how many columns you need. So you need 5 columns or 4 columns. You can give as per your number of columns, and as per that you can give a number of rows, and then the distance between a gap between rows to rows and column to column. So you can adjust this as per your requirement. So how much distance you need. So I'm just giving you 1000 here, and here I'm just going to give 1500, right? So these are some default values. So now you can see the distance has been arranged as per it, and click array. Now you get the array in straight and linear manners, that is x and y directions. This is called a rectangular array. So this way we can use a rectangular array. Next point, and just undo it. Now next point, I have something called path array. So what is this path array? So in order to know this path array, I want to have some basic line or path. So I need to have some basic line or path. So this is my path. So this way I need my object should be placed on this line. So I need this rectangle box that should be placed on this lines. So select the path array, go here, select the path. So select the object first. So which object I need? I need this object. So one object is selected. Now select the path. So this is the path. Now you see the path has been adjusted. Over here, similarly, you can adjust the distance between the path. So what is the distance you need? You can give the distance between the path, and then accordingly you can adjust this distance. So this way the path arrays are done. So if you have some base point, you can select the base points also. So with the base point, you can move this object on that exact line also. So some tangential directions are there. So you can give some tangential directions too, and then these objects are arranged according to that pathways. So these are the options which you can use in array creations, right? Now the last type of array, that is called circular or polar array. So circular or polar array. So what is that? So you want to arrange a furniture in a round table. So this way the polar arrays are useful. So select the object first, enter. Now immediately it will ask you what is the base point or axis of rotation. So I'm just going to select my base point. Now immediately you see the object has been repeated in 360 degree in that same point. So this how this base point can be used. So once you select the base point, now again the number of objects are repeated here. So how to do this? So in order to understand this circular array, take an object. Okay, now go for circular array, select the object. Now from the center point you want to put object here. Now see from this to this distance. So this is taken as a distance, and then repeated to that center point, the object has been rotated. So with respect to base point, now you can change this also, which direction you want to move. So this way you can move a object. So only up to this base point I need, you can do it. Suppose I'm just back, undo. So I'm just going to do select the object and select the base point from here to certain distance. Now how many objects I need? I need to put around 8 chairs in the same figure. So it will arrange 8 chairs in this particular figure. So this also we can do. If you are so confused or you are beginner in this array, then better my suggestion is to make a circle. So you can start with some basic circle, then you put an object here and select the center point of the circle, so that your tables will be arranged according to the circles. So for very beginners you can try with this, and then later on you can practice on this part also. Now again when you click on it, you can also adjust the size between the rows and columns, and then just click apply. So this way we can modify with array tools. So next point, which is called offset, very basically we use in civil engineering. So that is offset. So when you have wall offset, so double lines, so that's way we can use a wall offset. So example, so I have a rectangle. Now I want to make an offset, so I want to make a double lines. So that way we can click on offset. So select or which distance you need. So I'm going to use through distance. So I need a 0.230 as offset. Select this, and you can see that it's very small. So let me increase the size. So go for offset. Now give the distance, select the object, go for 20. Now see, this is created with double lines. You can see double lines. So this way the offsets are used in doing your drawings. So let me do it again with a bigger size. So let me go for 1000 and select this. Now you can see the visibility of lines. So this is how the offsets are used. The next is called erase button. So just you want to erase some objects, you can erase that objects. So this is a simple tool. And then you also have explode. So explode is just you want to break multiple objects. So explode can be easily understand over here. So now, so these are some multiple lines. So I take multiple lines. So this is a big sketch. Now all these are some polylines, right? So these are some polylines. You can see now these are polylines, and this is again polyline. So again this is a line. So now I want to explode this. So select the explode, select the object, whichever object you want to explode it, then press enter. Now you see the object will be exploded. So you can select again, select everything and press enter. Now see, these are exploded into single objects. This is called explode command. So this is how we make for small objects to break into segments, right? Moving further, that this is how we discuss about modified tools. I hope you are clear with the modified tools. The next point which we want to discuss is all about layer managers. So what is layer manager? So layer manager is going to be helpful basically when you are making a starting of a diagram with types of lines or line weight or colors. Then layer manager is a helpful tool for you to make your diagram in an easy manner. So let's start with the layer manager. So click on layer manager. Once you click on the layer manager, over here the layer manager dialog box get open. So you can drag it, you can move it in the screen. So once you move it on the screen, and you can stretch this little bit. Okay, so you can still stretch it, and this also you can stretch, or you can just double click it. You can do double click it. So this way it will be open activated, right? So what is layer manager basically? So let me explain you here. So the layer manager is basically used for a particular option. So basically layer manager is used for types of lines. You have different types of lines like dotted lines, okay, or dots, or broken lines, or center line. You have center lines, okay, so or some zigzag lines. So for this different types of lines we use a layer manager to be added. And again colors, if you have some color lines, so you can add colors. And then you have line weight. So what is line weight? So line weight is nothing but, like in your drawings you might be aware about 2H HB pencils. So to make your diagram dark, right? So that is why we see line weight. So this is called line weight. So basically to increase the thickness of line. So if you want a line like this, or you want a line like this but double thickness, so this is called line weights. Basically this is called line weights. So this will be visible when you take a printout. So when you take a printout of your diagram, then it will be visible in your part. And we can also see that in layout options, how much line weight you have given in a preview window. We can see that. Okay, next what we can see is all about, you can go for settings, that is print controls. So that is for print control, so where you can put off on off the layers. So where we can go for freeze also and lock options. Then we also have freeze and lock options. So in layer manager, these are the important things which you should be understand. So let's go for that. So here you can see on, freeze, lock. This is for printer. You want to see the lines in printing option or not. And this is a color, and this is a line type, and line weight, and transparencies, right? You can add description also. So let's start with the new option. So over here, if you see here, there is a new layer option. So click on the new layer option. Now you can give something called wall. I want this wall color as white only, and line type as continuous, and default part, that is a line weight. Now I'm just going to take one more layer, that is called door. So I'm just going to take it as a door option. So in door option, I want to create with the different colors. So I want to change my color as a blue color, but I want some different line. You can go for continuation also, and line weight as default. Now another one, I'm going to take it as center line. I'm just going to make a center line. This I'm going to change it as in yellow color. Now the line type I want to use as center line type. So just click on the load option, just scroll it down. You can see different types of lines are available in AutoCAD. So select the center line. So over here we have center line. Select the center line, click OK. The line get uploaded on this part. Now select this option, click OK. So now if you observe here very clearly that the center line type has been modified. Now click another type. I'm just going to take some extension line. Okay, so I'm just doing an extension line. This I'm just going to take it as a red color. Okay. Next, I'm just going to change this as a dotted lines. So you can go for dash or dotted lines. So dots there or dashed lines. So click OK. Now dashed line is going to be used for this part. So this is how you make your line options. Suppose if you don't want to use this, you can control with the on or freeze and lock options. So let's see that in clearly. Close it. Now once you click here, you can see the layer managers which you have created here. So center line is available. Normal, you can rename as walls also. So you can edit it again. So if you feel any difficulty, just you can create this as white colors. Right. Close it. Now ready with this part. So now click on the wall. Now you're going to create a wall. So ortho on. So let's go for simple wall. You're going to create a wall. Okay, so now wall is done. So we have done the wall. Suppose you are taking offset and you want to make a center line marking. Immediately you can change this to center line and go for offset and take offset. You can put center offline. So you can get offline. Now select this, just change it to center line. Now you can see the difference between the normal line wall and offset line, that is the center lines are available. Suppose I want to show some extension lines. So I'll select the extension line. So I'll just put some extension lines here. So on the screen, you can see some extension lines are also available. So this is how you use AutoCAD and layer options. Different tools you can use. Suppose you want to draw the door. So you want to show some doors. So you select door, and again you can change the colors also. If you feel to change the color, you can change some colors. Then click OK. Then you want to draw some doors over here on the sketch. You can show some doors, or you want to draw some objects. Any shape you can draw. Okay, this way we can do it. So this is how you want to understand how to use your layer manager tools. So I'll show you this in real picture in upcoming part. Next point which you want to understand all about your blocks. So what is block? So understand what is block first of all. So blocks are nothing but a predefined tools, objects. So let me explain you block. So blocks are nothing but it's a predefined tools or family objects. So blocks are nothing but it's a family object, predefined, or like example, a furniture of chair, okay, or you have some objects or any stool or any kind of furniture tools, a bed. All these are the kind of blocks. A bed, or you have some chairs or some window, default windows, some defined windows, or any kind of fixtures, light fixtures. So these are called as a blocks. So in AutoCAD we can find out these blocks under the category called design center. So please note down, it's called as design center. So we call this as DC enter. So we go for DC enter. So what is that DC enter? Just go to the command, type DC enter. So this is what your blocks. So you can see this window get open, design center. Just scroll it down, find the path that is called EN, that is English US. You find the design center blocks. So click on design center. Over here we can see different kind of blocks are available. Fastener, house. So you can click on the blocks. These are the different blocks. So as I said, chairs, furnitures, kind of objects you want, all are available here. So these are the blocks. So if you need this kind of blocks, then select this block, double click, and here is the option how do you want to insert in the screen. So you can specify on screen or specify some points. If you have some known X and Y distance and Z distance, you can give, or some specific rotation based with certain angle, you can give this block. And also here is the option called explode. If it is required, then you can go for explode, or else it is not required. So this is how the blocks is going to work. So I'll go for first option, that is specify on screen. Click OK. Now minimize this. Now place the object somewhere inside here. So presently it is in small scale. I have placed the object. Now if you zoom, you can see that the object is in layer door. I'll just convert as a normal one. You can convert this into normal one. Now you want to increase this object. So you want to increase the object size. Just scale it. Right click, scale it. Just zoom as much you want. You can zoom as much you want. So this way the object gets size. So later on you can use the move tools. Wherever you want to move, you can move the object inside this point. You can use it. So this is how the DC center works. So you can explore more options over here. And also a number of blocks are available not online. We can download that design libraries and we can use in our drawings also. The next point which you want to understand is all about group and utilities. So what is this group and utilities? As I already said, you have some set of lines, then you can want to group that. You can give a particular name and you can group that particular lines under a particular categories. And utilities we use about revision clouds, so and point styles. So there we use is utilities. So let's go back. I'll show you that how to use that utilities and group. Okay, so over here let's go ahead to part new. So now I have some lines with different colors. So I'm just going to take this door part. So these are some lines, or these are some objects, and these are some objects. Another one I'm just going to take in red colors. So same, I'm just going to take this, and I'm just going to take this. Now I want to group this objects and different categories. Go for group, select the object 1, 2, 3, and then press enter. So these objects are created in one group. So now you can see the groups, what are the groups are available. So you can edit the groups, all these things, and select the groups also. So now you want to see the group, you can see the group objects. So these are one group. Similarly, you want to detach this group. So you can go for editing this group, or you want to ungroup it. Select which object you want to ungroup. Select this object, select the group. Okay, just a minute, enter. Select this object and ungroup it. Select this group. Okay. Now these are group. Now this is group. Now you can edit it, add or remove the objects. So you can add or remove this object. So this object is removed from the group. So this is how the group will be visible. So these two are in group and this is removed. Similarly, we can do all this part for grouping and part. So you want to do a combination. So you want to do a combination of this and this and this and this. And now these are in one group. So this way we can use a grouping objects. The next point, which you also have a group managers. So you can see the group manager, what are the group name you are going to give. You can create a group name and you can give the selectable items and create a group also. So for example, you give it a group name G1 and click OK. Now select this group and press enter. So automatically group name will be entered. You can selectable and unnamed, you can go for unnamed also. Right. So next point which you want to know about utilities. So over utilities, a few important points, that is point style and revision clouds are there. So where we can use this point as part. So in utilities what you can do is point style. So point style is basically used when you have a division of lines. So suppose example, I have a line over here. Okay, so I'll just take this line. I'm just using a command called div, that is called divide. So select the object to divide. How many segment I want to divide? I want a segment, simply I'm taking as 4 segment. So now it has been divided, but I'm not able to see the points until or unless you take a line and see very specifically, you can see the dividend points. But I want to see that in a particular line style or point styles. So just go for this point style. Which point style you want to see, click OK. Now you can see that divided lines in 4 segments, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4. So this is how the divided lines will be helpful and to show the utilities with point style. So right, so these are the helpful tools which you can see. And clipboard paste and command is similar, but how you want to paste a block or you want to paste a special or a hyperlinks and repetitions, copy clips. So these are the clipboards copy. And view is nothing but how much view screens are you are making a splitting of screens. So you have some different modal space, you can use this option. So this is how you want to see it. So this is all about your first part of the modification tools and layer managers and the properties, all the same. And similarly in properties also you can do the transparency of lines. So how much visibility of lines you want, or you want to choose with colors or blocks which you are working. So this will do it to help of your controlling our users. So different color lines you are using, you can do with it. So match property is something like you want to select this object and you want to match with this particular object. So press enter. Now similarly this all objects has been converted into the first object. So whichever object you are selecting first, it will be matched with the second one. For example, I'm going to change this all 3 with green color. So I'm selecting this object and then I'm selecting this object and this object. Now see, all this object has been done. Why this 2 is being converted into green? Because this is in group. So this is in particular group. So one object if you select, automatically the remaining object also get converted to same part. So this is how it will be useful for it. So I hope this session will be added value to you. So we'll see in next session. Thank you.